Welcome to Lotus Me Bloom podcast. This is your host, Madison Ansel, and this podcast is all about spirituality, self-development, my life, things I've learned, and things I want to share. So you came to the right place if you're into all that stuff. Today's episode is about manifestation because I feel like I touched on it in almost every single episode. So I was like, okay, it's time to make an actual episode on this. So I'm going to be talking about what is manifestation, how does it work, how can you do it, and all of that good stuff. I like to talk about manifestation because I feel like it's such a big thing that we all do in our lives. Like, it's something we're always doing, regardless of like it being trendy now or whatever the case is. Manifestation is something like we're always manifesting, always, whether you're conscious about it or not. And I think for many people on a spiritual journey, which we're all on one, but you know what I mean, like consciously on one, manifestation and law of attraction were kind of like the spiritual 101, it was like what initiated our spiritual journeys. Now, that's not the case for everyone, but for a lot of people, because sometimes people be like, I watched The Secret or I read The Secret and, I thought it was stupid. And then like, that's it. Or like they didn't believe in it or whatever the case is. The Secret is a book that was made into a movie and it's on Netflix and YouTube, but it's a really good introduction for law of attraction, but it's very basic. Like there's so much more that goes into it, but it is a good introduction to it because it does kind of shift your mindset. I watched it like later on in my journey, so it was just kind of like, oh, that's cool. Yeah, like it was a good reminder for me. But a lot of people watch and they're, knees deep into it and they're like, oh my gosh, this changed my life. And some people watch it and they apply it to their life a little bit, but they don't get into the spiritual side of it all. Because I just feel like it goes hand in hand. Like for me personally, that's how I, got on the spiritual journey. I mean, maybe I'll make an episode on like how I got into it, but I stumbled across some manifestation stuff. And so I think it really does play into each other. And I know like, I don't know, I feel like there's this weird, a trend, I don't know, on like TikTok, everyone's like, manifest your best life, manifest, being a millionaire, just manifest it, girl. People use it so like, I don't know, it's like blase now, like it's just very overdone because everyone's trying to manifest, a Bentley and everything else. But there's so much more that goes into it. And like, there's such a beautiful spiritual side to it. And honestly, you can manifest anything. Like you can manifest friends or confidence. And truly, I think manifestation leads you on to a healing journey. And I think that's why, like, I don't know. I don't love that it's super trendy because all people see is like, oh, I'm manifesting, being a billionaire. And like, there's just so much more that goes into it. It's like this beautiful side of healing and stepping into your power. And then some people are just like, oh, I wrote this on a bay leaf and I burned it and nothing happened. Like, what the fuck? So I'm going to be breaking it down for you guys today. And we're just going to talk about it because I know most people know what manifestation is, but some people don't. And some people don't understand it. Some people don't understand why it's working for them. And that's why I wanted to talk about this, because I feel like there's a lot of fucked up, like, misinformation about manifestation and law of attraction. Like, people just think, oh, think positive thoughts and you'll live the best life. No, there's so much fucking shit that goes into manifestation. Like, truly. Yes, you can do the basics. You can, visualize, do a vision board, all that type of shit. But like at the end of the day, if it's not working, it's because you're probably missing a step, or you probably need to look at some past trauma or limiting belief and etc. So I'm going to get into that because there is a lot of healing that goes into manifestation that people don't want to talk about. They just think it's like this quick, easy thing and you got to be positive and all this other shit. So how I very first heard about manifestation through like a girl I watched on YouTube, and like it never hit with me. It never registered. I was just like, okay, like how most people are. I tried to do like something she said to do about like thinking. If you think something at least 7 minutes or some shit like that, like, I don't know, every day it's supposed to manifest into your life or some shit. I did it and I was like, okay, cool. And then one time I heard Russ sing it in a song, I forget how the lyrics go, but he was like, I manifested this shit. And I was like, okay. And I remember looking it up. I'm like, okay. Like, I don't even know what that means. So, leading into that, what manifestation actually means, like when you research it, like Google it, the word manifestation means to create something or turn something from an idea into reality. In psychology, manifestation generally means using our thoughts, feelings, and beliefs to bring something to our physical reality. So I actually Googled that so I could give a good definition, but that's what it means. And a lot of people associate law of attraction with manifestation. Like, they're basically the same thing. And although that's correct, that's like the very first law of the universe that people associate manifestation with, but there's actually 12 other laws of the universe. But let me talk about law of attraction. So law of attraction is like attracts like. Positive thoughts attract positive thoughts, etc. But it's way more than just thinking thoughts, okay? Like, people, this is where the miscommunication and the misinformation comes out. People are like, get into it and they're like, well, if you keep thinking negatively, you're going to keep attracting negative shit. And truly, I think there is a part of that is true. But like I said in my last episode, you can still manifest beautiful things going through a hard time and being, in a negative place. I truly feel like it's where you're vibrating at as a person. So this is another law of the universe, which is law of vibration. Okay. There's an energetic scale and everyone is vibrating at a different frequency. And this is not good or bad. It's not, I'm better than you. It's nothing like that. And I don't even really like to bring it up because I never want someone to like be like, oh, I'm just vibing so high and they're just so low, like I just feel like that separates us more. So what I'm trying to get at is that, yes, law of attraction, I think definitely works. You think positively, you keep telling yourself positive things, that shit's gonna work. Like, that shit's eventually, going to be programmed into your subconscious mind. That's where, yes, you can still be negative. I want to get across that, like, don't fucking flip out if you think negatively. Like, the shit's not gonna just manifest into your life. Like, it's just what you do daily. Are you daily in and out saying negative ass shit to yourself? It's the little things that build the beliefs. And the beliefs that I'm going to talk about later play a huge role in manifestation. Because that shit you keep saying to yourself is being stored in your subconscious mind. Okay? So that's why I do believe at some point, okay, if you're just always playing victim mentality, life sucks, day in and day out, you're just negative as fuck as a person. Yes, I do believe that it's going to manifest into your life and keep proving to you what you believe. Okay? Beliefs have a lot to do with this shit. Okay? You don't have to be at this most healed, perfect version of yourself to manifest beautiful things. Okay? Like, we manifest things all the time. That's what I want to get across to you guys is like, if you feel like you can't manifest shit, start small. And I'm going to talk about this later in the episode too, but start small. Try to manifest a cup of coffee. Okay? You don't have to be like vibing super high and just like, this evolved, human who just thinks positive thoughts all day long. Guys, I've been very negative, and I have made that clear in the last episode. Like, I've been going through it. Okay, I still get signs, guys. I won some money off a lottery ticket. Like, I manifest shit. Okay, I just want to really get across that, like, you just thinking thoughts is not going to change your life. Okay, and let me prove to you why this is true. Because yes, you can think positive thoughts all day long. That doesn't mean you're going to manifest the shit you want. And I'm going to say why, but let me get down into, I have a list here. I actually planned out this episode. Let me talk about tools to manifest before I get into, okay, maybe why your manifestation's not working, or, all that bullshit. So, tools to manifest. There's scripting, which is writing things down, getting a journal out, writing present tense of what you accomplished. Like, it's basically you going into the future version of yourself and writing down all the shit that you have, but it's being present. So I'm so happy that I'm driving my new Ford Fusion. I just made a TikTok example of this earlier today, but writing present tense and writing it down, or you could just write out a list. I like to do this around new moons. I did it last night on the new moon. I scripted everything. And you want to make sure that you have feeling and emotion with it. I'm going to go through these quick, okay? There's visualization. Visualization. I always feel like I say that weird. Which is basically daydreaming. Literally, guys, we have done this shit since we're kids. Visualizing shit is very powerful, okay? Maybe do it before you go to sleep. It's a really good, powerful way to get to your subconscious mind. But visualizing, vision boards. I'm sure you guys have heard of vision boards. It's powerful to look at something every day and be like, okay, think of the things that, the feelings come with it. Daydreaming, like I said, visualization is very powerful. There's the 5x55 method. There's a bunch of different methods, okay? And that's basically writing shit down, a million fucking times. It's writing 5 times a day, whatever you want, 55 times. Okay, there's 2x22. So you try to manifest a new car. I'm so happy I manifested my new Ford Fusion. I'm so happy I manifested my new Ford Fusion. You write that over and over. It's repetitive. Okay, it's kind of like affirmations. It's just kind of I don't know. It's putting it out in the universe, but it's also getting to your subconscious mind. I've only done that maybe once or twice. It's just, you'll figure out what works for you and you'll go with it, okay? There's something called a cup method, which I've only done this once and I have not done it in years, but it's basically you take a cup, you visualize what your life is now, and then you write on a piece of paper what you want it to be on the other cup, and you fill that other cup up or some shit like that. I only did it once, but literally there's so many different ways, guys. I mean, you get on TikTok, people will be write this on a bay leaf and burn it, or do this, and there's so many different ways. One of my favorites is acting as if, and I feel like a lot of people will kind of forget that one, but literally embody who it is you want to be. Act as if, what's that saying? Fake it till you make it. Yeah, that's true. I've manifested quite a few things by doing that. I manifested free microbleeding by acting as if I already won the contest. It's one of my favorites. Okay, so those are tools. There's so many other ways you can do it though. But basically, a manifestation, it starts out as a desire. It's something you want, right? Then you use a tool, you manifest it, right? Okay, I scripted out what I wanted, my Ford Fusion, and then you put it away. But what helps with all of this, that I feel like really deserves a whole episode in itself, is gratitude. Gratitude is huge. If you want something, you have to be grateful for what you don't have and what you do have. Gratitude is fucking amazing. I have a YouTube video on it. And I talk about how it amplifies your manifestations, because it does. Like, that emotion of gratitude, you sit and think about shit that you're grateful for. And I talked about this in the last episode about how much it changes your attitude. It really does. It makes you realize your life's okay. Your life's pretty fucking good, even when it's not. So gratitude gets you into that vibration, law of vibration, what I said earlier. It gets you into that vibration of being thankful, and it's a higher vibration. So when you get into that vibration, yes, it's so much easier to manifest things. So act as if, be grateful. I'm so grateful for my new Ford Fusion. Feel it. It helps. And this also plays into human design too. Whatever your, I want to say strategy, but that's not it. Whatever your feeling is, it'll tell you like what your best, or your sense. It'll tell you which one might be better for you. Like for me, feeling is really powerful for all, like whatever I do with manifestation. I feel the emotion of how it would feel. And I've done this since I was a kid without even realizing it. I would feel into the daydream. So feeling is really powerful, regardless though of whatever you are in human design. But the biggest thing that people don't understand is letting go, which I feel like deserves a whole episode. You can't obsess about it. A really good example that I have heard many times is manifestation is like putting an order into the universe. Okay, say you're, it's just like shopping online. Okay, you buy a bag. Okay, when you order it, you order your manifestation, you put it out into the universe. Okay, God, universe, I would like a new Ford Fusion. Yes, this is the example I'm going to be using this whole episode. It's funny because I used to have one. But so you put it out there, okay? You put your order in. And just like when you would order something off of a website, you don't stress about where the fuck it is. Yeah, maybe if like it's like 3 weeks and you're like, okay, hey, I think I ordered something. But you know what I mean? Like, it's going to arrive. Most of the time we don't track it, you know what I mean? Unless like it's been a while. But that's the example I'm trying to use with manifestation, is like you let it go. You put it out there. It's going to come to you. That's the thing. That it's going to come to you. So there needs to be a balance of feminine and masculine. And when I say that, is that you need to still work towards whatever it is you want, because there's also a law of the universe called the law of inspired action. Okay, this is another big misconception, and honestly, it's something that I probably struggled with too, and sometimes I still do. When someone very first learns about manifestation, law of attraction, they think, okay, if I just sit on the couch and visualize all of this and, feel the feelings, then all of my dreams will come true. Okay, well, newsflash, not how it works, okay? Yes, visualization is powerful. Yes, you should visualize and feel the feelings and manifest and do all that shit. But if you are not taking any actions towards the thing you want, it's not going to happen. You have to take inspired action. And this is what I talk about. It needs to be balanced. Okay? You need to not obsess over it to the point where you're blocking yourself. Because if you keep trying to manifest the same thing every day and obsess about, okay, where is it? Why is it not happening? You're blocking from receiving it, because you are putting out to the universe that you don't have it, that you are coming from a place of lack. That's telling the universe that, okay, well, you don't have it. So I'm going to prove to you that you don't have it. So yes, you have to have a balance of, okay, I'm not going to obsess over it, but at the same time, you need to take actions to get you to where you need to go, so you can align yourself with that version of you. So what I'm trying to get at is you need to align yourself with that version of you on that timeline. Some people would call this like timeline hopping. This is law of vibration though. Okay. This is where inspired action it all plays into each other. Okay. So I'm not saying like you need to take the action to like, do it all yourself, because that's not what I mean. Inspired action. Okay. Let me think of an example. Okay. I thought of a good one. You're trying to manifest a friend. So you script, you visualize what your ideal friend would look like, and you wait. You let it go. You're like, okay, universe, I know you're going to bring me the right person. Okay, that's great. But what have you done to try to initiate that manifestation? Like, what action have you taken? Do you not leave your house? Because if you don't leave your house, you think the universe is just going to like, yeah, it's possible, I guess. But like a friend's not going to show up at your doorstep. Okay. So inspired action to meet a friend would be, maybe go out on the weekends. Maybe say yes to things that you get invited to do with your coworkers. Maybe you really will hit it off with one of them. You need to take inspired action, but without being obsessed about it. You know what I mean? Of like, oh, well, I haven't met my friend. Where's my friend? Where's my friend? Because they're not going to show up at your doorstep. And if they do, that's kind of creepy, but whatever. So that's an example of what law of inspired action is, and aligning yourself to that timeline. That's what inspired action helps you do. Now, aligning yourself to that timeline is, okay, you want to be a multimillionaire, okay? That's what you want to do. You have a business, you're building your business, okay, you're manifesting, you're doing all the things, but you have to try to align yourself with that version of yourself. And that version of yourself is obviously not who you are right now. But what would you be doing when you are a multimillionaire? Okay, think of the things. Well, you'd probably be really healthy, right? Because if you're running a multi-million-dollar business, you need to be healthy enough to take care of it. Okay, well, right now, are you healthy? Are you working out? Are you eating like shit? Okay, well, start taking those actions. Would a multimillionaire wake up at 12 p.m.? Probably not. They probably have to get up early. Start getting up early. Aligning yourself with that version of them. Would that person be talking down on themselves? No, probably not. Now with money, which is a whole episode in itself, yeah, I mean, obviously if you don't got the money, don't be spending it like you got $1 million. You know what I mean? Like money's such a tricky thing when it comes to like manifestation, because it kind of fucked with me in the beginning too. I'm like, okay, money comes back, I'm just going to buy shit. Okay, there needs to be balance and respect there. But a multimillionaire, I bet, saves their money. Okay, so save your money. So you guys get the gist. Align yourself with who you want to be. And let me tell you, that's something people don't do. People don't take the action. Me. I'll fucking learn shit all day and have a really hard time initiating and applying the things I learned to my life. Okay, so don't be like me. I just now this month have been like, okay, shit, I need to start taking some action, So yeah, that's one people don't think about. But here's the kicker. The kicker, guys, to all of this shit. You can do all these things that I just told you to do, but guess what? If you don't believe it's possible, it's not fucking happening. Like, I'm not saying it can't happen, okay? But what you believe, your beliefs are literally the core to all of this shit. So if you, at the end of the day, yeah, fake it till you make it. But if you truly don't believe that at your core, no matter how many times you're telling yourself, but your body's screaming, no, that's not possible, it's going to manifest that way. And I know you're like, what the fuck? Okay, here's the other thing. The more resistance you have to something, the harder it is to manifest. So that's why I encourage, if you're new to this, start small. Manifest a cup of coffee. That's the basic one everyone always says. But manifest someone buying you a cup of coffee. Because guess what? It's not the end of the world to us, you know? Oh, it's no big deal if no one does. It's the bigger shit that's harder to manifest because there's more stories around it. But this is a really good reminder for even someone that does manifest and knows how it works and everything. Do the small things because it reminds you, hey, this shit works. And I guarantee you start small, it'll start programming your mind to think this shit's real. This shit works. This is possible. And I should do this for myself, really. I manifest stuff but the shit I want to manifest is usually pretty bigger. That doesn't sound right. Anyways, you know what I mean? So there's something you can start out with. I remember, it was like an Abraham Hicks thing. Like you imagine yourself climbing a ladder, ring by ring, and you're going up the ladder and I don't know, you're supposed to see a ladder the next day or the next week. And I did. And that shit, it was the very first time I ever did manifestation. And I was like, whoa, that's weird. Because that's why when you learn a new word and then the next day someone uses it, it's because you're matching that vibration. You're meeting that thing in that timeline. I don't know how to explain that. But so manifest something small. Manifest someone giving you a gift or someone paying for your lunch. It's small things. You can be okay, you can visualize it, or you can just say it. Someone's gonna buy me lunch today. Or you can act as if, oh, Joey bought me lunch today. You know what I mean? So try it out. But the thing with all of this, like I said, the more resistance you have, the harder it is to manifest. Why aren't all of us millionaires? Well, because most of us have stories around money. I do. It's been one of my more challenging things. And you'll find that everyone kind of has that one thing that's harder for them to manifest. Some people it's love. For me, I worked through all of my beliefs around men and all that stuff and was able to find a really nice man. But money is something that I'm always working through. So where this all comes into play and wraps up with the bow on top is healing. This is where people either dive into the spiritual side of shit and they go down a rabbit hole of this healing, beautiful journey, or they don't. Because people, they might not be aware that they need to do this shit. They need to do the shadow work. Because like I said, most people just do the manifestation shit and then oh, why this shit don't work? I'm thinking positive thoughts and it's not working. And they're not told what they're doing wrong. Or some people know and they don't want to face their shit. And that's why spiritual journeys aren't for the weak-minded. You have to dive into your fucking pain, your trauma, and deal with it head on. And a lot of people don't want to do it. And I get it. Because there's been some times I'm oh, I can't fucking do this anymore. Flipping the fuck out. It's a lot. It's a lot. You're healing, you're growing, you're evolving. And some people do it at faster rates than others. Some people are I don't want to do this. And maybe 5 years later, they do it. Some people, they realize, oh, this is what I can't manifest this because I have trauma around money. Because when I was younger, we lived on the streets, type of shit. People don't want to look at that shit. And the ego keeps us from not looking at that shit. Because the ego wants to protect us. And I'm going to do an episode on that too. Because there's lots of misinformation about the ego. Kill the ego. No, don't kill the fucking ego. The ego's here to protect us. That's why when we go after our dreams And then all of a sudden we're like, oh, we're scared. We're like, oh, we can't do this. It makes me uncomfortable. I don't want to do it. It's the ego, because the ego doesn't want to like get our fucking feelings hurt, and it doesn't want us to hurt. It doesn't want us to feel pain. So it's there for a reason. You just have to talk to it like a child. Anyways, so yes, all of this comes back to the main core to all of this shit is your beliefs. What do you believe is possible? For me, like I said, I manifested free microblading. Okay. That shit's like $500. But to me, actually manifesting $500 is a little bit more resistant, because I have stories around money that I've been working through for the last few years, but it's a slow journey for me. So get to the root cause. If something isn't manifesting into your life, there's probably a story that you're telling yourself. There's probably a weird, maybe memory that you don't remember that happened in childhood, because most of this shit stems from childhood. Let me tell you. Oh, we could do an episode on that too. Talking about trauma, and truly what I'm getting at too is healing the inner child. A lot of healing work and shadow work, it's all about the inner child. Because at some point when we get to adults or teenagers, we shut out the inner child. And the inner child is all about who we are at the core, who we are, when we were children, before all of the bullshit, beliefs started being programmed into our mind. It's the play. It's the having fun. It's the version of ourselves that wants to live out our dreams or do this, but we say no because that's not what adults do. Adults don't have fun. Adults work and are miserable, Like we shut that version of ourselves down. So it's all about healing the inner child. That's a whole episode in itself as well. There's so many different routes I can go down right now, but I want to stay on the main one here, which is manifestation. So to wrap this up, once again, manifestation. There's tools to do it. You can definitely do it without getting deep into the trauma and all that stuff. But when it comes to something that's really, really important to you and things that you have stories around, like when I was wanting to meet my partner, I had a lot of stories around men because there were men that didn't treat me well. So I believed all men were the same, all men lied. Love isn't real. All these things I had to sit with and work through. Where did these come from? Why do I feel this way? Who made me feel this way? Why do I believe this is true? And really, what comes down to it, to mostly all of this shit, no matter what route you're going down, is self-worth. Do you feel good enough? Do you feel worthy? A lot of this shit comes down to self-love and self-worth. If you don't feel worthy of being a millionaire, if you don't feel worthy to be with someone that treats you right, if you don't feel worthy to have your dream job, it's not going to happen. Now, I'm not saying that it doesn't, okay? Because you see a lot of rich, famous people that totally fucking hate themselves, okay? I don't really know how the shit happens. I do believe that we sign up for certain shit in our life. I do believe that, certain shit happens for a reason. Okay. So there's also we are in control of our lives and our reality, but there's also a whole other fucking, thing that goes into this, which is God. You know what I mean? There's a reason we're here. Okay. Everyone has different purposes and missions, and there's a whole other aspect into play here. So don't think you're God, know that there is something bigger than you. But at the same sense, know that God is in you. So what you do to yourself, you're also treating God the same way. And once I read this in a book, it really changed my perspective on shit. Because whether you believe in an actual God or universe or source or angels or whatever the case is, your higher self is like who you are on a spiritual level. It's who guides you through this incarnation. You disrespecting your body and yourself, you're disrespecting your spirit. I had a reading once, my very first ever reading in healing. My spirit was so pissed off at me, I didn't even know. She was way away from my body. She didn't want nothing to fucking do with me because I wasn't listening. I wasn't listening to my soul. I wasn't listening to where I wanted to go and what I actually wanted to do. I was telling my stories over and over again about, oh, that's not possible for me, or I can't do it. I'm not good enough. I kept telling myself the same shit, and my spirit was pissed the fuck off at me because I don't listen. I don't listen to the signs. I don't take care of myself. Okay? So what I'm trying to get at is that, like, how you feel, yes, it manifests into your life. Your beliefs create your reality. But at the same time, there is a part that we don't have really control over. And that's, a lot of the time unknown. I don't have all the answers. I'm going to tell you straight up, I don't have all the answers. I can't tell you why shitty people in this world have a shit ton of money and are evil. I can't tell you. I don't know, but I can say, just because someone's shitty, okay, well, what's their beliefs around money? A lot of people that were born into money don't have as much restriction around money. So just because they're shitty, maybe they just didn't have as much stories around it. Or how about this? A lot of people that are rich and famous or whatever the case is, they take a lot of fucking action. A lot of fucking action. Kind of to the point where I feel like it's a little obsessive, right? But they take action. They work hard. And that's a belief in itself. Sometimes people feel like they have to work hard for shit. And that's not always necessarily true. There's people that fucking, got weirdly Instagram famous overnight and made a fucking empire. Like, that's what I'm saying here, guys, is like there's no one direct road. You can take a lot of action, work hard for shit. Yeah, you can do that. But to manifest it more easily, you can do that too. There's different reasons why people have different shit. And I can't fucking tell you the answers to that. Okay. But what I'm trying to tell you is that if you're trying to manifest the life you want to live, a lot of the time it has to do with your beliefs. No, not a lot of time. All the time. It has to do with your fucking beliefs. What you believe. What do you believe about yourself? And a lot of the time, just because people are like miserable and they're rich and everything, that doesn't mean they don't have any self-worth of like what they have. They probably feel hella worthy of money. They love money. They probably don't have a lot of, stories around money. They know they can make it. So, yeah, I'm going to stop rambling on that. I'm kind of going down a rabbit hole myself because I'm like, I don't know what you guys want from me. Like, I don't know what to tell you. I can't tell you. And you guys aren't even fucking talking to me. God, I hate myself sometimes. But yeah, so beliefs, self-worth, that's really the core of it. That's the kicker. If you don't have that, a lot of the time shit's not going to work out. So you can do affirmations. You can keep telling yourself and programming your subconscious mind. That's really going to help. But at the same time, if something's still not working for you and something's not manifesting into your life and you're doing the affirmations, you're programming your subconscious mind, it could be that there's something that needs to be lifted out of your energy field. Because here's the thing. In order to heal it, you need to feel it. Okay? I'm sure you've heard that before. But Johnny could have broke up with you 5 years ago. But if you never dealt with your shit from Johnny, guess what? 5 years later, when you go to get into a new relationship, all that shit from Johnny's going to come back up. Okay? Just because, they say time heals. Yeah, it does in some aspect, but not really. And I know for myself, there was shit I didn't deal with and it came back up years later because I realized I never dealt with it. So there could be something in your field, your energetic field, that happened to you. It could have been ancestral stuff. We absorb our parents' shit, our family shit. There could be something that you took on as your own as a child that wasn't yours to take on. There could have been a traumatic experience that happened, or there could have just been a story that your family kept telling you that you absorbed and now it's yours. That's what I'm talking about with shadow work. Where did it come from? Where's these limiting beliefs coming from? It's a limiting belief. You believe it's not possible. Okay, why? Okay, would this happen to me? Okay, how did that make you feel? Is that the root cause? So, yeah, I'm not going to keep going on. I'm 40 minutes in right now. But you guys get the gist of what manifestation is. You can manifest beautiful things by thinking a negative thought. It's fine. I think negatively all the time. I'm not perfect. I get negative quite often, okay? I get down and out, but I get myself back up, okay? And I do vibrate higher, I guess, because I have the tools to help me that I talked about in my last episode and some, getting out in nature, making yourself feel good and trying to combat the negative things, trying to actively work on yourself it's good enough, okay? You don't have to be like, oh, I love my life, I love my life, I love my life all damn day long. No, you can still manifest. That's just really what I want to get across, because there's a lot of fucking misinformation about what you think is what you manifest. And yes, at some point it does, day in and day out. But at the same time, it's not going to instantly manifest. And I think The Secret touches on that. Just because you think of an elephant in your room doesn't mean an elephant's going to be in your room or some shit like that. But yeah, so there's different tools. If you guys want more specifics, I think I do have a video on scripting on YouTube. And I do have a video on how I manifested my free microblading. But that's basically the main gist of what manifestation is. Yes, law of attraction is the main one, but there's also 12 other laws. There's law of karma. There's law of duality. There's different laws that play in, and that's why I'm going down all these different roads, because I'm trying to explain myself in fucking 40 minutes, because this shit could go on for hours. I could go down each law, and talk about how that plays into it and all that other shit. But I don't have enough time to do all that. So I just want to make this simple and try to stay on the same track. But I feel like I kind of got messy there towards the end, so I'm sorry. But if you guys have any questions about this, there's plenty of information out there on manifestation. Just don't believe the first source you see. Even with me, take what I say and decipher what's true for you. Okay? I'm always going to encourage you to do your own research and to get multiple sources. Okay? And usually in the beginning, when you're very first getting into this stuff, you might watch people and then realize later down the road, when you're your own guide and you don't really need to seek advice from anyone, that you just don't resonate with those people anymore. So just be your own guide. Shit will come to you when it needs to come to you. So many people want to rush this shit and try to learn everything, and you just have to relax. The spiritual journey is not a fucking race. There's so many people that are I gotta learn this, and I'm kind of the same way a little bit. I always want to learn more and always work on myself, but at the same time, you have to balance that feminine and masculine energy, like what I said earlier. Masculine's all about doing and, getting shit done, and the feminine's, being able to receive. The masculine is the action. So you need to find the balance. And a lot of people just want to gain all this information and not let it come to you beautifully and naturally. I have to say, everything has came to me in the exact timing it needed to. And so many people are like, oh, I want to do this now. And you're probably not ready for it. Okay. So that's all I got to say. I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. I'm going to try to get an episode out every Sunday or Wednesday, maybe both. But if you guys liked this episode, please screenshot it. Tag me on Instagram, at Lotus Me Bloom or at Madison Ansel. All of my personal socials are at Madison Ansel. My personal YouTube, TikTok, at Madison Ansel, MADYSONANCELL. And then I have all my Lotus Me Bloom stuff, which is Lotus Me Bloom everywhere. On Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, but that's where my products are. That's where my business is. That's where I have crystals and intention setting candles and t-shirts. So if you want to check that out, lotusmebloom.com. I got a lot of new stuff coming out. I have lots of bracelets and new candles coming out. I would so appreciate it if you guys could leave a review on the podcast. Let me know how you enjoyed it. Hopefully it's a 5-star review, but honest reviews as well. But I would just love if you guys could do that, because it really helps get my podcast out and to the people that need it. So thank you guys so much for listening. And if there's anything specific you guys want me to touch on, reach out to me and I would love to make an episode on it. With that being said, manifest your best fucking life, because you fucking can and you're fucking worthy. Okay? Seriously though, keep chasing your dreams. I love you all, and I will talk to you guys in the next episode. Bye, guys.